Well, well, well. We are less than 3 hours away from the Cowboys plucking them Eagles. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboys fans. It is the day we have been waiting for. Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's get this thing popping. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. Yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. It is time. The nachos are cooking. The pizza is getting ordered. The wings are being put in the oven. All the drinks, I don't drink alcohol, but the drinks are being put on ice. And we are getting ready for the Dallas Cowboys. Can y'all believe we are finally here? I mean, through all of the free agency, the great free agency, the great draft, the George Pickens pickup, the Brian Schottenheimer hire, the coaches hire, Michael Parsons getting traded, Kenny Clark coming in. We done been through all of this. We done been through all of this for this day right here. It is time. It is time to get on the field. No more talking about practices and OTAs and preseason. It is time to talk the real deal, the season. Oh man, we have put together a great show for today. At least I believe it's a great show. Today, we are going to talk about the fact first. The Eagles and the Cowboys. These are new teams. People who are looking at the Eagles like they're the Eagles from last year, and people who are looking at the Cowboys like they're the Cowboys from last year, you're sadly mistaken. The Eagles played the Cowboys twice without Dak Prescott. We've added additions to this team that's going to make us better offensively and defensively. We're not the same team. The Eagles lost a whole bunch of players. They're not the same team. Then we're going to talk about Dak Prescott. We're going to go back and see if we can find some stuff on Dak Prescott versus Vic Fangio. We'll see if we can find something on Dak versus Fangio. We're also going to see if maybe we can find Brian Schottenheimer versus Fangio. And then we're going to also look at the last time Dak Prescott played against the Philadelphia Eagles. Even though that team is different too. But nevertheless, I also want to talk about some of the matchups that we need to be looking at today. I want to be looking at some of the matchups because these matchups are going to be key today. And I am going to point out a matchup that I don't think people are talking about enough. But we're going to talk about the matchups for today. And then, of course, we'll just look at the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. It's nothing really to look at. It's all hands on deck. Then, let's sneak over to the Philadelphia Eagles website. I want to see what the Eagles are saying. I want to see what the Eagles are saying about the Dallas Cowboys. And I've already looked at it. And I'm telling you, I think y'all are going to be very interested to see what the Philadelphia Eagles had to say about the Dallas Cowboys. And then, my final predictions of what the score is going to be. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Eagles new team, Dallas new team, Dak versus Fangio, matchups, injury report, Eagles saying, what are they saying in Philadelphia, and the final prediction. Let's go. Yeah. We ready. Yo, hit that like button if you're ready. If you're ready for some Cowboys, hit that like button. Let's go. All right, we're going to get a quick roll call in today. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. 153 and counting. Let's keep it going. Let's go. You know what that sound is. Ron Hannah up in here. He said, I'm so ready, G. It's time to pluck some feathers. Let's go, Cowboys. Let's go. Melvin Clark up in this thing. We got this. What is going on? David Everett up in here. What is going on with you? Caitlin Lockhart, what's going on? She said, we got to start fast, jump on them early, and get the lead. I agree. Roger M said, what time is the game? It is 7:20 Central Time. John Jones said, what up, G-Money? I said, it's a New Jack City. Let's go. Paul Lander up in here. What's going on? He said, let's go. He said, let's go, Cowboys. Let's show them what we are made of. Let's go. Big Cloud up in this thing. Let's go. Big Cloud, it's finally time to start the season. Can you believe it? Cowboys for Life 77 said, what up, G, in the chat? Hope everybody good. Game day. Can't wait, G, to shut up them doubters, boy. Me too. Yes, sir, it is time. Richard Owens up in this thing. What is going on, Richard Owens? Good to see you up in here. David Everett, Pamela in the house. What up with you? Rena Zaguini, what up with you? He said, it is time. He said, best pregame show YouTube. Yes, let's go. Yes, sir. Let's get this thing going. My sister, Brandy Mahoney, she said, hey, my loves, how y'all feeling? You know how we feeling. We feeling good. Jacob Jackson, he said, we're going bird hunting tonight, baby. Let's go. Alan Moore, it is almost game time. My right-hand man, Daniel up in this thing. Daniel, are you ready for some football? Let's go. Jigga Man up in this thing. Let's go. He said, stand up, Cowboy Nation. Lord Nova up in here. What's going on? Roy Clay, he said, let's go, Cowboys. He said, let's get this win. Yep, we're going to talk some facts today. Lonnie Cabal, let's go. He said, I'm the hardest working man on YouTube. You said it, I'll agree with it. Let's get this thing going. All right, let's go. Let me go a little faster. C-Matt up in here. A-Dot in here. Randy Cadell up in here. What's going on? Angel Face Washington, what's going on? Let's go. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's get this thing going. Kevin Howard up in this thing. Let's go. Ernest, Bivens, Q-Ball, Excel Music. Let's go. James, let's go. My sister Nisi from the beginning, she said, hey, G in chat, did y'all have your jersey laid out like it's the first day of school? Yeah, let's go. We good. Let's go. Lenore Johnson up in this thing. She said, may Jesus bless them boys. Let's go. Stephen White up in here. Regular. David Young. Wallace. What up with you? Let's get this thing going. Jared, my brother from the beginning. Oh, he's back to Jared Thomas. Let's go. He said, G, Cowboys take it. 34-31 is the final score. Dak will have 300 plus and 3 TDs. Hurts will throw 40 plus times, more than the Eagles want, and be sacked 4 times. We pull the upset. He owns Hurts and gets another W. I love the way you just predicted that game. I'm ready for all of it to happen. My sister Miss Matrix up in here. Uh-oh, Susan, it is definitely time for the Cowboys to play. She went from Susan back to Sexy Suze. Let's go, Sexy Suze. It's time to get this thing going. Dominique Pittman, my regular up in here. What's going on with you? Boy, I am so ready for this game. Danks 9000 up in here. Good to see you, man. Let's get this thing going. David Duval up in here. All right, let me go a little bit faster. I want to get to the end if I can. I want to get to the end. Alex, appreciate that $9.99 super chat. My man up in here. He said, let's shock the world and whoop them filthy birds. Let's go. Mark Vasquez is up in here. Let's go. James Moss, Marlon Dillard. Let's go. It's too many. It's too many. It's 220 and counting. I will get y'all as we keep going. Richard Turner, Clap Bubba X. What's going on with you? Love's beautiful in here. What is going on? Ty Howard up in here. Man, the whole family is in this thing. Robert Thomas, what's going on? Richard Villegas, Dolores Betty Boo, what's going on? Reginald Williams up in here. Let's go. C. Burleson, D Block 88. What's going on, D Block? Good to see you up in here. My Uncle Charles, what is going on with you, Uncle Charles? Good to see you. T-Rev 757. Tristan York up in this thing. Let's go. I see you, Junior. Back up in this thing. Let's go. All right, we to the end. All right. Derrick Jones. RJ got the power. Let's go. Lulu. I can't go without telling my man C-Base. What up, C-Base? Let's get this thing going. Sean Springer up in here and P-Funk. Let's go. Tony Luzato, I missed you. Appreciate that super chat. Let's go, Cowboys. All right. So let's get this thing going. Let's get to our first topic today. So I want to talk about this whole issue of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys are kind of like new teams. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys are kind of like new teams. They are not the same teams that they saw before. They are not the same teams. So one of the things we got to pay attention to is that when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're going to hone in on the Eagles for a moment, and then we're going to look at the Dallas Cowboys also, because the Dallas Cowboys are actually not the same team either. We are not the same team that the Eagles saw when the Eagles saw in 2024. And one of the reasons why we're not the same team is because Cooper Rush was running, I say running that team loosely. But I want you to look at the players that the Philadelphia Eagles lost. The Philadelphia Eagles lost Milton Williams, defensive tackle to the Patriots. Maybe not a major loss, but a loss. Josh Sweat, major. Josh Sweat, major. Even though the Eagles live on their interior defensive line, we know this. They live off their tackles. But nevertheless, when you got tackles like they got, a guy like Josh Sweat, man, he becomes a problem too. They lost Josh Sweat. They lost Darius Big Play Slay. And I'm not saying that Darius Slay, hey, don't you worry, Brandy. Not only have I prayed, we are going to pray before we get off of here tonight. Because we have got to make sure we are not just praying for our Dallas Cowboys. We are praying for the health of our Dallas Cowboys. In particular, Dak Prescott. Brandy, we are going to have to pray I'm praying for Dak Prescott on this platform every single pregame show. We got to make sure, we got to pray that the man upstairs allows Dak Prescott to stay healthy. But again, they've lost Darius Slay, which if you don't think Darius Slay was a big deal, he might not be who he used to be. But that veteran leadership by Darius Slay and just knowing, being very familiar with Dak Prescott and being familiar with the Cowboys and all those different things, it matters. They lost Isaiah Rodgers, and some may say that's not a big deal. They lost Oren Burke. They lost Kenny Gainwell. Now, don't think Kenny Gainwell was no slouch. Of course, we got Paris Campbell. Wasn't necessarily a huge loss for them because they never really played him. But Paris Campbell is no longer with them. Also, other notables, they lost their safety. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was traded to the Houston Texans. Mekhi Becton left in free agency. That's their right guard. Even though his replacement, from what all intents and purposes, looks pretty good. Kenny Pickett was released after being traded to the Eagles last season. Now, this is really significant because Jalen Hurts better not get hurt for the Eagles. And the reason why Jalen Hurts better not get hurt is that their backup quarterback, he's hurt. And so that means that the Cowboys will be playing Sam Howell, who's barely been there. I don't even think he's been there a week to be able to work on the team. And so when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they are a different team. They are a different team. And not to mention, brand new offensive coordinator. We have no clue what they're going to look like. We have no clue what Jalen Hurts and this new offensive coordinator is going to look like. And I want us let's pull up the Cowboys Cowboys' final 53-man roster. Because when you look at the Cowboys' 53-man roster, you want to talk about an entirely new team. The Cowboys are an entirely new team. They are an entirely new team when you almost look at them from top to bottom, and especially when you look at them versus what they were the last time the Philadelphia Eagles saw them. So let's pull this up. So when you look at the Cowboys from the quarterback position, the Philadelphia Eagles, all of 2024, did not see Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is 94 against the Eagles, but they didn't see Dak Prescott. Of course, we no longer have Trey Lance, Cooper Rush. We now have Joe Milton behind Dak Prescott. But this is the place that I really want us to pay attention. When we look at ourselves from the offensive position, Guyton and Terrence Steele, they pretty much know who that is. But our offensive line, we have added none other than Tyler Booker. Tyler Booker is going to be major for the Cowboys. And the reason why Tyler Booker is going to be major for the Cowboys is because of the way the Philadelphia Eagles interior defensive line looks. Let's pull up Philadelphia's roster too. Because this dude for the Philadelphia Eagles, man, I've been telling people, man, we're paying all this money. People are paying all this money, paying all this money to these doggone edge rushers. But the real people who they need to be paying are these doggone interior defensive linemen. They are carrying defenses and carrying defenses all the way to the Super Bowl. They are carrying them all the way to the Super Bowl. And we're going to look at this a little bit more, and also as we look at the matchups. But as you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, these dudes on defense, they are a problem. They are literally a problem. When you look at their defense, we went and got Tyler Booker in particular. We went and got Tyler Booker for one guy and one guy only, Jalen Carter. That's who we got. That's who we got Tyler Booker for. Jalen Carter. I think one of the reasons that Zach Martin retired, Zach Martin knew he wasn't the same. And Zach Martin, last year, I'm pretty sure when they played the Eagles, Zach Martin could do nothing with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is a handful. I mean, to say he is a handful is actually it's an understatement. And where they live is because they are so good at the defensive tackle position, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and then when you kind of look at how they can keep all of those guys rotated and fresh, you got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ojomo, Gabe Hall, Ty Robinson, Byron Young. I mean, these guys, one of the things they do is they keep their defensive tackles and their defensive line rotating extremely well. And then, of course, they got Nolan Smith on the edge, Aziz Al-Jalari, and then they have Jalix Hunt and Joshua Uche. But their strength is their interior defensive line. And Jalen Carter is the very reason, Cowboys fans, we went and got Tyler Booker. And I said this the other day. I didn't quite realize it listening to Brian Schottenheimer talk. But one of the things that Brian Schottenheimer actually went and did is that Brian Schottenheimer actually went and tried to build himself a version, in a sense, of the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. He went and built himself a version of it because this is where the Cowboys really, really change up on the change up on the Philadelphia Eagles. So we got Tyler Booker. The matchup to watch, we can go ahead and say it now. The matchup to watch is Tyler Booker against Jalen Carter. It is the matchup to watch tonight. Then you look at us at the running back position, we're totally new. We're totally new. Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, Miles Sanders. I got a strange feeling if the Cowboys let Miles Sanders run on these Eagles, I don't know what it is. He's got an axe to grind. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm going to let him grind it. Let him grind it. He wants to grind it next. I want to let him run it. Bleeding Blue, he said, leave no doubts. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Bleeding Blue. Yes, sir. Cowboys are totally different at the running back position. Now, I still think the Cowboys could have did good if they'd have kept Rico Dowdle. But at the end of the day, I guess I would have to say that our running back room is better. I mean, what were we last year? Rico Dowdle, Zeke. What were we? Rico Dowdle, Zeke, and Deuce Vaughn. And I don't even know what the Cook experiment was. I mean, last year was so bad. It almost seems like 2 seasons ago. It's like the last season was so bad, I feel like I missed the season. I mean, I literally feel like it's like 2 years ago that last year was. It was that bad. Cowboys were pretty much the same at the tight end position. But right here, this is what makes this Cowboys team unlike anything the Philadelphia Eagles have witnessed. I don't think they've witnessed an offense with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jalen Turpin, Devontae Turpin. Woo! To even imagine what the Philadelphia Eagles have on their hands right now. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. George Pickens just opened up this whole offense. Between Jake Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, and I'm telling you, Devontae Turpin, I guarantee you, Brian Schottenheimer is going to give them at least 10 looks of Devontae Turpin, not including the doggone special teams. This offense is going to be a handful. It is going to be a handful with just three differences. The running back room, George Pickens, Ty Booker. The offense is, the Eagles have not seen this offense. It's going to be interesting to see, can Tyler Booker hold up against Jalen Carter? Because I'm going to tell you now, if he can, it's going to be a long day at the office for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a long, long day. Now, let's look at this, and they still have Michael Parsons on there, but we already know he's not here. Now, this is where the Cowboys really changed. This is why I say the Cowboys are such a different team. This is where they really changed. Do we not realize the Cowboys literally flipped their whole defense almost? Let this sink in, Cowboys fans. The Cowboys literally have flipped their entire defense. Dante Fowler wasn't here last year. Marshawn Nealon was here. He was injured, but Marshawn Nealon was here. Donovan Ezaraku was not here. James Houston was not here. Sam Williams was not here. He was here, but he was injured. We have totally flipped the defensive end room. Totally flipped it. And we went from one pass rusher, whether people realize it or not, we went from one pass rusher to 5. Now, those 5 pass rushers individually are not as good as Michael Parsons. But if you were going to tell me that we were going to get 5 pass rushers before we even traded Michael Parsons, 5 pass rushers, I would have told you, and I'd already been saying it, if Jerry wanted to take this thing down to the wire, he was ready, because they have 5 pass rushers. And if you listen to Dante Fowler talk about Donovan Ezaraku, people are going to be in for a rude awakening tonight for all these people who were saying that Donovan Ezaraku didn't show anything in the preseason. That was by design. Watch when he gets in this game tonight. He'll look different. James Houston, Sam Williams is hungry. I am excited. But look at this. The Cowboys flipped their defensive tackle room. This is not updated for whatever reason. I got this off of DallasCowboys.com. We have Osa Odigizua and we have Kenny Clark. Yep. Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark. We are going to discover adding Kenny Clark to the Cowboys defensive line was similar to adding George Pickens on the offense. Y'all mark my words. When we come back on our post-game show tonight, y'all are going to call me a prophet. This dude, Kenny Clark, is going to show his worth tonight. He will be all in the middle. You watch what I tell you. He will be all in the middle. Jalen Hurts is not going to be able to step in up in that middle like he normally does. Saquon Barkley will not be running up that middle like he normally does. You watch what I tell you. This dude, Kenny Clark, is going to be an absolute monster tonight. And so when you think about Osa Odigizua, Kenny Clark, Jay Toya, Perion Winfrey is not playing tonight. Solomon Thomas, the Cowboys totally flipped the defensive tackle room, totally flipped the defensive end room. The Cowboys they are a brand new defense. Maurice Leofau came on last year. He was already here. Jack Sanborn, I am telling y'all, Jack Sanborn is a tackling machine, and Chicago was furious that they did not place a tender on him. Kenneth Murray Jr., we're going to see how he looks up under Matt Eberflus, the linebacker whisperer. Damone Clark looked really good in the preseason. And then we got Shamar James. This linebacking core, I'm not saying that it's world class, but this linebacking core is way better than what we've had for the last, 4 or 5 years? Linebacking core, we totally flipped it. Then when you look at the cornerback room, we are getting what we've been asking for years. Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland on the same field. That's what we're getting. Trayvon Diggs will be on the outside. Deron Bland looks like he'll be lining up in the slot, which I do think that maybe on certain downs he'll also line up outside. Kyrie Elam is going to be outside. And now we got Triquez Bridges, Reddy Stewart, and CJ Goodwin. So our cornerback room, we got it stronger, but it hasn't been tested. But I am very excited. The one who I got my eyes on in this whole thing is actually Kyrie Elam. My eyes are on Kyrie Elam. I want to see what he does. And then, of course, we got Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Wanye Thomas, and Marquise Bell. And, of course, on our special teams, Brandon Aubrey, Brian Anger, Trent Sieg. And, of course, we got Kavontae Turpin as our return guy. But I'm telling us when we look at these Eagles and Cowboys, they are not the same team. And so the Eagles can't expect the same result they got last year when we were decimated with injuries. Let me get a super chat in. I want to get a few comments in. Tristan York, appreciate that super chat. Tristan York, he said, what up, G? He said, this team is just different. This is not the same. And I'm telling y'all, the Eagles know it. The Eagles full well know it. This is not the same team. This is not the same team. This is an entirely different team. Wait a minute. Did I forget to mention the coaching staff? Man, this is a whole different team. This is an entirely different team. There is no team that has been flipped like the 2025 Dallas Cowboys. There is no team that has been flipped like us. Let's look at this coaching staff just for a moment. There is no team, guys, that has been flipped like the Dallas Cowboys. When we look at the Dallas Cowboys, of course, you know, we have Brian Schottenheimer at the helm, 26 years of coaching experience, 25 years as a coordinator, and now he is the Dallas Cowboys head coach. I can tell you this, don't know exactly what he's going to be, but I love his philosophy. I love pretty much 90% of everything he's done. Brian Schottenheimer, I've been rolling with him. I've been driving the bus. I'm riding with Brian Schottenheimer. This is another place we ought to be excited. Clayton Adams. I believe Clayton Adams is going to help our run game be even more violent, and I think a lot of people have been excited about one Clayton Adams. And I am telling you, this man actually does need to wear glasses, because when you look at this man in the face, he is one of the most intense looking individuals I have ever seen in my life. The dude just looks scary. And then don't sleep on this. This guy right here is going to be major for the Cowboys this year. Ryan Fedor. Ryan Fedor is going to be major for the Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer is putting a lot of responsibility on Ryan Fedor so that we don't have these clock issues we've had in the past, so that we don't understand situational football like we haven't in the past. This guy is going to keep us up on everything. I'm so excited to see how he works. Brian has given him so many flowers. I want to see how this guy really helps us. But again, the one thing that I'm going to tell you as we're looking at this Cowboys coaching staff is I think Brian Schottenheimer is going to rely on his coaches more than Mike McCarthy ever did. I think he's going to rely on his coaching staff more than Mike McCarthy ever did. And he is really dependent upon some of these guys on this coaching staff to do some great things. Derek Foster will be on full display tonight. We're going to see what the Cowboys' run game looks like. Another guy on this team that people really need to be thinking about, Connor Riley, of course, offensive line coach. We're definitely going to be paying attention to him. And then when we get to the defense, this man right here, all eyes on him. Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus is going to have to shut the naysayers up. Matt Eberflus has to shut the naysayers up because they're saying his defense is nothing without Micah Parsons. Matt Eberflus tonight, not only does he need to hold, I think if he can hold the Eagles to around, and I'm talking about combined between Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and their running game, if Matt Eberflus can keep this game to about 125, it's a victory. I'm telling you, it's a victory. And I got a strange feeling because of Kenny Clark, they're going to be able to do it. I believe Kenny Clark is going to stop up the middle of the Dallas Cowboys defensive line. And that's kind of where we are with those coaches. And so I'm telling us, Cowboys are a whole different team. Nobody knows what to expect. I'm telling us, nobody knows what to expect from these Cowboys, man. They are a different team. Bruce S., not Wayne, said, shut down the run, shut down the Eagles. Facts. I said it the other day, Bruce. They have to turn Jalen Hurts into a quarterback. They have to turn him into a quarterback. Don't let him get off 12, 13 runs, hitting you for 40 to 70 yards. One tug. Don't let him do it. Stop the run on early downs. Keep them in passing downs. Trayvon Diggs is hungry. I want Trayvon Diggs to have the season of his career. I want him to prove every naysayer wrong. I want him to have the season of his career because I think it's his last year. I think it's his last year. I want him to be able to go on to some other team and get another contract. But in case the Cowboys do, think about signing him. Well, give him a reason to. Give him a reason to. Come out here and tackle. Yeah, come out here and tackle. Come out here and lock down A.J. Brown. Come out here and do everything you did pre-contract. Because I got news for us. Trayvon Diggs really hasn't been good since the contract. Got hurt. I mean, he just hasn't been good. Is he healthy to where he can stay in these games? He can tackle and do everything we want him to do. I want Trayvon Diggs to have a huge, huge season. Let me read this super chat from my man, Alex Beck. Alex Beck, what's going on? Appreciate the super chat. Anthony Beck said George Pickens will have a big game tonight. I believe so too, especially if the Cowboys can stay patient early. Cowboys are going to have to stay patient. Take what they give you, and then you hit them with something big. Take what they give you, and then hit them with something big. Dez up in here. I can't wait to see you in the post-game show. He said, y'all about to see the difference between a boy and a man. Eagles. I can't wait to see you in the post-game show. Nisi said, we're all in agreement with that prayer, G. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. We're gonna pray before we get out here tonight. Keek up in this thing. What is going on, Keek? Good to see you tonight. Justin Bradley up in here. What's going on? 31-27 Cowboys. He said, I ain't gonna say what he said, but I'm just gonna say, pluck Philly. Pluck them birds. Let's go. Yeah. Jordan says, he said, I'm so hyped, I'm gonna get the cops called on me. Man, I'm telling you, people might be calling 911 tonight the way some of us gonna be screaming. Robert Thomas, he said, we will be rocking tonight. Gee. Yeah, man, we will. We will. So I want to look real quick. I want to look real quick before we look at the Dak Prescott games against Philly. I'm telling us, guys, last year was so bad. It seems like 2 years ago. It don't even seem. It's like I can't even fathom that we were that bad last year. I can't fathom it. That we were as bad as we were last year. So many things happened last year. It don't even seem real. I mean, the whole Mike McCarthy, the injuries, it don't even seem real. It don't even seem real. It's like last year's almost a blank. I want to go back to last year, though. Unfortunately, Dak Prescott goes down the game before the Eagles play the Cowboys at home. I want to go back to that game. And we were actually in this game when you go back and look at it. The Cowboys were actually in this game. There were a couple of mishaps that really knocked the Cowboys out of this game. One of the things that knocked them out of the game, if I'm not mistaken, was a fumble by Ezekiel Elliott down in the red zone. Matter of fact, there's the play right there. We're not going to play it. Zeke fumbled in the red zone. That was a play that was very costly. Another play that was very costly, and I'm thinking it was in the first half too. Another play that was very costly. The sun being in CeeDee Lamb's face. I mean, it was a wide open touchdown. He didn't see the ball. And that was I guess we could call that first game at Texas Stadium, we can call that the curtain game. Let me read a couple of super chats and then we're going to look at this. JL Channel, what's going on? Appreciate that super chat. JL Channel said, I think the Cowboys can pull this off tonight. They have an element of surprise with their offense, particularly Jaden Blue. Cowboys 28, Eagles 21. JL. I don't think that's going to be the surprise. And I'm gonna show you why I don't think it's going to be the surprise. I said it yesterday. And now after reading this Philadelphia Eagle kind of scouting report or whatever it is, no, they're expecting the Cowboys to be explosive. I'm telling us what is going to surprise everybody. This is actually the surprise. Because who is not expecting Dak Prescott to light it up? The real surprise is Kenny Clark. That's the real surprise. The Cowboys stopping the run. That's the surprise. Nobody's expecting it. Nobody's expecting the Cowboys not only to stop the run, nobody's expecting the Cowboys to get sacks. I believe the Cowboys will steal tonight. I believe the Cowboys still get 3 to 4 sacks, and I will not be surprised if they get 3 to 4 sacks and 2 turnovers. I will not be surprised. And I am not going to be surprised if Kenny Clark has 1 sack and 6 tackles. I'm telling us the surprise for the Cowboys is their defense. Everybody's expecting the Cowboys offense to go bombs away. There is nobody that's going to be surprised. I don't think there is anybody that'll be surprised if the Cowboys score 31 points. 31, 34. Heck, it wouldn't even surprise anybody if it was 41. But if we score 41, someone is thinking that means the Eagles are either going to score 45 or the Eagles are going to score 31, 34, 37. The real surprise that the Cowboys are going to introduce to the Eagles is that they're not going to be able to run the ball on them like they have in the past. Let me get this next super chat. Quentin Stanford, appreciate that. Quentin Stanford, you speaking my language. Quentin Stanford said ball control. Win the battle in the trenches. On fire tonight, my man. Cowboys. Tyler Booker has got to be able to handle Jalen Carter. Tyler Booker has got to be able to handle Jalen Carter. Because we don't even know what Guyton is still going to look like. But I'm just going to say that Guyton may be coming off of 2 years now off that injury. And Steele coming 2 years off that injury. Now, where Steele typically struggles, Steele struggles with the powerful. He struggles with the powerful defensive ends. He don't struggle with the finesse defensive ends. What the Eagles have right now is a finesse. They got finesse edge rushers. They don't have Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick edge rushers. More finesse. Well, Terrence Steele can handle that. Now, on the other side with Guyton can typically handle the power rushers. What gives him problems are the finesse guys. So we'll see how they fare tonight. But if Booker, I already know Ty Smith, I'm still waiting on Ty Smith to get signed right before the game. Ty Smith, Cooper Beebe, I'm not worried. Whoever line up in front of them, not worried. Jalen Carter is going to be the worry. And if they handle him, I'm not worried about the edges. Dak Prescott will step up in that pocket, bombs away. Not even worried about it. The trenches is where this game is going to be won. Tyler Booker on Jalen Carter. And whoever is in front of Osa Odigizua and Kenny Clark. Them boys are going to be a problem for teams this year. I'm telling you they are. Dominique Pittman, appreciate that $1.99 super chat. Dominique Pittman said, respect G Channel. He said it, watch the language, y'all. I appreciate you, regulator. Let's go. Timothy Govin says, G, Michael lied to Jerry about the contract they agreed on. Jerry felt disrespected with the situation. Michael wasn't a man of his word. I agree. But I'll tell you what Michael Parsons has me perturbed, but I'm not going to talk about him tonight, but I'll bring it up because you brought it up, Timothy Govin. The fact that this man is now taking shots at the Dallas Cowboys team is crazy to me. Not the front office, but the team. First he says, yeah, man, this team is all about ball. I want to take a break from my podcast because these guys aren't like anywhere else. They're all about ball, really. Because we were all about ball. We were complaining that you were the one that's not all about ball. Then he comes back today. Never seen a locker room like this before. I came in for treatment and all the guys, almost the whole team is in the locker room. We on to the Eagles. Bruce said, imagine the locker room mood. Let's go. Yes, sir. Man, these guys are so glad. Especially, I bet you if they read some of his comments today. Man, the dude is just, can't do it. All right. Wait a minute. Is that Angie the Rebel Chicks up in here? What is going on, Angie? What is going on? Good to see you up in here. My sister, what's going on? Hope all is well. Just in time for the Cowboys season. Angie the Rebel Chicks graces us with her presence. I appreciate you. Good to see you up in here. Let me let them drums drop before I turn this off. My sister, Angie the Rebel Chicks. Let's go. It is officially Cowboy season. Boy, I got Niecy and Angie the Rebel Chicks. And I'm waiting on my sister LaQueen. I know it's going to be football season. Maybe she and I didn't see it. But anyway, all right, let me go. Blue Star up in this thing. Yes, sir. Blue Star, appreciate you. Blue Star said, Dak drops a dime to Pickens and he goes up over Cooper DeJean. Mossed him. Touchdown. Yes, sir. Cowboys are going to have to be real patient tonight, though, because I believe they're looking for that. The Eagles will be looking for those plays. They'll be looking for it. Oh, Dub, appreciate that super chat. Oh, Dub said, let us remember, Jalen did not have a great year after his first Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Yes, sir. And let me just show you what they looked like last year. Guys, to be honest, last year, I believe that we beat them the first game if Dak Prescott plays. I believe we beat them the first game if Dak Prescott plays. Because if you look at the score was 14-6 at the halftime. It was 14-6. When you look at Jalen Hurts' stats, pedestrian, 14-20, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Without, I want y'all to let this sink in. Without Kenny Clark, we held Saquon Barkley last year to 66 yards. We held him to 66 yards. We held him to 66 yards. Now, what hurt us was we couldn't hold Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts hit us for 7 for 56. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. But we held Saquon Barkley to 66. We couldn't stop Jalen Hurts. He went 7 for 56, 8 yards a carry. Then we had they had Will Shipley 9 for 34, Kenneth Gainwell 7 for 30, and then Kenny Pickett. I'm not even counting that. But even though we held Saquon Barkley, when you add all of this up, that is somewhere around 176 yards off the top of my head, 177 with one Kenny Pickett. We can't let them get off 177 yards today. I believe as a whole, we got to keep them somewhere around 100 to 125. And I believe they are going to be able to do that. And then tonight, today when you look at it, if I'm not mistaken, this was the game where they looked, wherever Kalen Carson was, I think that's where they were throwing the ball. Is this the game where they were burning Kalen Carson out of his mind? A.J. Brown was 5 for 109. It was a terrible, it was terrible the way that A.J. Brown did us. But in the grand scheme of things, what really got the Cowboys when you look at this game? What really got the Cowboys were the turnovers. It was the turnovers. The Cowboys had 4 fumbles and 1 interception. That's what beat the Cowboys. I think Zeke fumbled it. I think Cooper Rush fumbled it. That's what beat us the first time we played them. With Dak Prescott, I believe we actually beat them in Dallas. Dak Prescott in healthy, we beat them in Dallas. And also, I want to look at, let's see, the defensive stats. Demarion Overshown was a monster that game. Seven sacks. Kendricks had 4. Demarion Overshown was seven tackles, 4 assists, 2 sacks. Overshown, I'm just telling y'all, Overshown is the leader of this defense, especially when he comes back. Kendricks was 4-4. Kalen Carson was 4-1. Maurice Leofau was 4-0. And again, Michael Parsons had 2 sacks and two tackles in that game. He had a very, very good game. But really, for the most part, it was the turnovers that really beat the Cowboys. It was the turnovers. And if the Cowboys shore those up, which I believe they will this game, I believe the Cowboys beat them maybe even with Cooper Rush had they not been making mistakes. I mean, they were really in the game. They were really in the game. It was halftime after we came out at halftime, and they came out and hit us with 14 and then 6, and it was pretty much over. We didn't do nothing else after that. And so, again, okay, it was 187, not 177. 187 rushing yards they put up on us. And so we got to get that down. They got us 24 first downs. They were 4 of 11 on third down efficiency. That was the first game. Now the second game. Now that one was a problem. The second game, if I'm not mistaken, boy, that one right there was a problem. The second game, let me make sure. Maybe I'm looking at 34. Let me make sure I get the right game. 34. The second game was so crazy about the second game. The score was similar, but the game was not. I mean, the Eagles, man, let me read some super chats. Boy, that second game, and they didn't even have Jalen Hurts. Boy, that second game, they mauled us. They mauled us on the second game. They really did. Absolutely mauled us. Okay, I already got all those. Okay, absolutely mauled us on the second game. Mauled us. I'm just like, what in the world happened in the second game? What happened in the second game, guys? Let's look at the second game. The second game, when we played them, it wasn't even close. We scored 7 points in the first quarter. They hit us with 7 in the first, 17 in the second. Cooper Rush interceptions. 10 in the third, 7 in the fourth. Look at these stats, man. Cooper Rush, 15 of 28, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. You ain't beating a drum with that. You're not beating a drum with that. Let's go to the team stats. Second game, they had 179 yards rushing, but this was where they killed us. 376 yards. Let me tell you something. For people who think Jalen Hurts is why they won the Super Bowl, that team was so good, I still say they could have won it with Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett and that doggone quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, when they played the Cowboys that second game, I think he's the backup quarterback now. Tanner McKee. They killed us. Kenny Pickett, 10 of 15, 143 yards, 1 touchdown. This dude, Tanner McKee, came in and threw 2 beautiful touchdowns. Whew! 2 beautiful touchdowns. They mauled us. They mauled us with minimal effort. Mauled us. Team stats. We had 2 interceptions in this game. 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. They mauled us. But the great thing is, we're a whole different team. We're a whole different team this time. We are not that same team that got beat by these 2 teams. We're not the same team. So we definitely ought to be happy. Ought to be happy about that. And as a matter of fact, when we think about Dak Prescott, the last time Dak Prescott played the Philadelphia Eagles was 2023. The last time that Dak Prescott saw the Eagles, man, he balled out on them. This was Dak Prescott the last time he saw him. Dak Prescott went for 271 on them boys. He went great. Dak Prescott, 2 touchdowns, 271 yards. Dak Prescott went bonkers on them boys. 59 yards rushing. Dak went bonkers on them boys. And matter of fact, that is the game. I thought that was the game with Gardner Minshew. I actually thought that was the game, but I guess the last time that we saw Jalen Hurts out there, Dak Prescott beat him. And so the Cowboys are not the same team. And so I want to change gears for a moment. And I'm going to come to the comments before I go to this next part. But the Cowboys, Vic Fangio has a very interesting defense. Vic Fangio plays this cover 2 shell, they call it. A lot of people say it's kind of like quarters in a sense. And basically what he does, he kind of splits up the field and he tries to have 4 defensive backs or 4 guys in coverage on one side, 3 guys in coverage on another side. And 2 of those are the linebackers, of course, and then he rushes 4, giving the illusion that the middle of the field is open. But one of the things that they do extremely well is when they kind of give that illusion, one of the things they do really well is that they jam wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. And because they jam wide receivers at the lines of scrimmage, they throw off a lot of the pick plays and they disrupt when that illusion, and it's not necessarily an illusion, the middle of that field is open, but they cause so much pressure up the middle that typically quarterbacks they just don't have enough time to make an accurate throw. It's either behind them or it's just a misfire. And so when that happens, this is how they get a lot of teams. Poobie D up in here, what is going on? He said, we got tonight. Let's cook. Yeah, we're going to do this thing tonight. We are definitely going to do this thing tonight. All right, and let me read some comments. I want to get a little bit further down. Angie said Amari Cooper retiring. Yeah, his heart's not in the game no more. Big Daz, Dak should only throw about 23 times tonight. I would say because Brian gonna cook. He's gonna probably throw about 30. I say he'll get about 30. But the ideal though, Big Daz, I'm with you. I think the ideal is probably around 23 to 27. So I like what you're saying there. Yeah, Hallelujah said preseason just a talent show. Mason Bartlett said Kenny Clark can't break our game. He's going to remind everyone that he's that guy. I believe so too, Mason. I believe so too. I believe he's going to do his thing. Ron Hanna said, don't think the Eagles score more than 21 points. Our defense will shock them tonight. Ron Hanna, I believe that is the true shock. I believe that is the true shock. I do. Sean Brown, appreciate that super chat. I think the real shock of tonight is going to be the Cowboys defense. I believe when this game is over, what we will be talking about is the Cowboys defense. I think we're going to be talking about Kenny Clark. I think people are going to be talking about how good Kenny Clark played. I do. I think they're going to be talking about how good the Cowboys pass rush looked. I think they're going to be talking about Dante Fowler, how good he looked. Donovan Ezeraku, how good he looked. Sam Williams, I'm telling you. James Houston, I'm telling you, I believe the big shock for everybody, because it's the defense that everybody is counting out. And I think they are the very ones who are going to rise to the occasion. Marika Gray, welcome to the congregation. She said Kenny Clark needs to be in Saquon's face all night long. My man, Ice Cold Cowboy, baying about time. What is going on? Ice Cold Cowboy said Atari has retired. Oh, I love it. Dang. Terrence Washington, yep. They keep saying Kenny Clark is washed. Man, that man had a bunion on his feet. Boy, if you ain't never had no bunion on your feet, shoot. Man, that's somebody who ever had a bunion on your feet. And he played? Man, there's people that miss work over bunions. Shoot, better ask somebody. Man, there's people that miss work over bunions, let alone play football. Shoot. Man, ain't nobody playing, ain't nobody even going to work on no doggone bunions. So, hey, this man, shoot, let me tell you something. This dude can play this game. Chanel said, you can't handle the truth. He said, what up, G? Highly favored, bro. Yes, sir. Blessed and highly favored. Let's go. Alfredo, watching the show on TV. What's going on with you, my brother? Ron Hanna said, watch Tyler Booker and BB block Carter, Tyler Smith, Maul Davis, and Miles Sanders run up the middle because their linebackers will be on their heels all game. Ron Hanna, Tyler Booker is another key to this game. If Tyler Booker can handle Jalen Carter, it's on and popping. It is on and popping. And I think he's going to handle him. I do. I think he's going to handle him. Kevin Parrish said, gee, Michael going to see how successful our defense is going to be tonight. He's going to be hurt. Hey, I'm going to tell you. And they were going to, man, I'm telling you, they were going to be great with him. I do. I think they were going to be great with him. I think this was going to be a great year for him here. But, you know, best of luck to him in Green Bay, except when we play him. But I'm telling you, this Dallas defense is going to be the surprise tonight. Nobody's expecting them to get sacks. Nobody's expecting them to stop the run. They are literally expecting this to be a shootout. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think the Cowboys defense are about to shock everybody. They're going to rise to the occasion. They're going to rise to the occasion. I'm not going to be surprised if they turn them over twice. I'm not going to be surprised. Because I'm telling you, pressure busts pipes or it creates diamonds. And I believe they will be able to get that pressure. Angie, my co-host, is here. Let's go. I'm telling you. The defense will be the shock of this game. The defense will be the shock. The defense is going to set the pace. There go my sister, LaQueen. The season is officially on. What's going on, LaQueen? She said, I'm in the house. Dallas Cowboys 31, Eagles 21. Let's do this. I'm telling us. That is going to be the real shock of this game. And again, if you look at the part of the Cowboys that has really flipped, it's the Cowboys defense. George Pickens, put this offense on steroids. But people don't realize Kenny Clark is going to help put this defense on steroids too. Because what has made us fall apart in a lot of games, and Brian Schottenheimer talked about it. Man, when you can't stop the run, it's humiliating. When you can't stop the run, you don't know if you're coming or going. If you can't stop the run, play action gets you thrown off. You want to stop the run so bad they hit you with the play action. Then you start trying to stop the run. You stop the run and then they hitting you with the pass. They're just having their way on you. When you can run the ball and really when you can dominate the line of scrimmage, that's what's humiliating. Because when you can dominate the line of scrimmage, you can run, you can pass. And when you can't run and a team runs on you, they run over you, they tire out your defense, and then when they hit you with the play action, man, you ain't got no pass rush left, ain't you? You ain't got no pass rush left. None. This game is going to be won in the trenches. Cooper Beebe, Ty Smith, Ty Booker, Oso Digizua, Kenny Clark. That's where this thing is going to be won. Skeptical fan, he said they're going to run a lot with Saquon Barkley. Then Hurts will do the read options. Skeptical fan, you watch what I tell you. All the Cowboys have to do is stop that early. Turn him into a quarterback. That's all you have to do. And Kenny Clark is going to help us do that. Kenny Clark is going to help us do that. I'm telling us tonight, the defense. It is the defense. A lot of people, they think it's the offense. Yeah, we're going to score points. But the defense is where we're going to make our mark tonight. You watch what I tell you. We make our mark with the defense. Everybody is going to be shocked. And like Nisi said, they're going to put that goal post on ice skates. They're going to put that goal post on ice skates, and they're going to be saying it was because of this, and this this, and this. These boys going to ball. These boys are going to ball. We talked the other day about Vic Fangio. We were talking about, this guy, Vic Fangio, and I'm telling you, they are blowing. My sister, Lisa Worley up in here. Lisa, are you ready to see Jalen Tolbert tonight? Jalen Tolbert better eat tonight, Lisa. Jalen Tolbert better eat. Eat on these boys. I agree with Cowboys Life 77. He said hit that like button for G. Hey, and if y'all see that HYPE button, hit that hype button. So I tried to find the games. I tried to find the games of Dak Prescott versus Vic Fangio. And keep in mind that these games were not against Brian Schottenheimer. I think Brian Schottenheimer knows how to beat Vic Fangio. We'll look at that in a moment. But I think the game that everyone is talking about where Dak Prescott went against Fangio, I'm thinking it's December 2019. Let me see if that's the one. Fangio, because let me make sure. Meant to do this earlier. Okay, Fangio was in Chicago from 2015 to 2018. So it looks like the game that is being referred to, it is one of these two games, but these two games, they both look pretty good. Because from what my understanding is, Dak Prescott has only beaten Vic Fangio, I think they said one time. I was looking at this earlier. It says from 2015, he was the defensive coordinator in Chicago. He went to the Broncos in 2019. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused on this because if he left in 2019, that was the year the Denver Broncos beat. That was the year the Denver Broncos, the Cowboys, the Broncos beat the Cowboys. But in 2016, when he was there, if this is accurate, then Dak Prescott beat Vic Fangio in 2016. The score was actually 31-27. I'm not sure if this is accurate, but it says if this is the game, the Cowboys actually won that game 31-17. Dak Prescott had 248 yards and 1 reception. And don't really see the rushing yards. But if you look at that game, the Cowboys fared pretty well. Brian Hoyer was the quarterback, of course. And so he fared, in that game, he fared really well. Now, I'm going to tell you the game where they did a number on Dak Prescott. It was the Miami Dolphins. Do y'all remember that game? The Miami Dolphins was the heartbreak game. The Miami Dolphin game was the game that people said that lost the MVP for Dak Prescott. And the crazy part of the game is that Dak Prescott wasn't even the reason why they lost the game. It was one of the most insane games. But Fangio did a number on Dak Prescott. But where Dak Prescott started getting Fangio was Dak Prescott. Let's look at Dak Prescott stats against Fangio. See here if we can pull that game up. Where Dak Prescott was able to overcome Fangio is that Dak Prescott put together some late game drives that absolutely he started ripping Fangio apart in some late game drives. The score was 22-20. And if I'm not mistaken, it was just some fluky stuff happening in that game to where, if I'm not mistaken, isn't this the game where Dak Prescott ran for the touchdown? He ran for the touchdown, but then they went back and reviewed it, and it wasn't a touchdown. And he ran out of bounds, if I'm not mistaken, like right before the goal line. Let me see here. I thought this was the game. It was a kooky game, though. And this was the game. And because, again, Dak struggled somewhat in this game against Fangio. But this was the game that they said that lost Dak Prescott, the MVP. They said it had lost him the MVP. And let me pull up. I want to pull up the box score on this one that looks a little bit more clear than this. But again, these Fangio matchups with Dak Prescott, they have been some absolute battles. And he's been able to kind of confuse Dak some in some of the earlier parts of these games. Because Fangio, like I said, he doesn't do anything pre-snap. He doesn't do any kind of blitzing. He kind of stays in that cover two shell, they call it, which is basically quarters, as some have identified. And he doesn't do anything pre-snap. And then they make the adjustments after the ball is snapped. And that, not only Dak Prescott, he's not the only one that this is messed with. Fangio, there's a reason why his style of defense is kind of spreading all over the NFL. Because even Matt Eberflus seems to do some kind of rush 4, drop 7. So we'll see how that goes tonight. But I think our front 4 is good enough now that we're going to be able to do some of the same type of things that Fangio has done to us and other teams in the past. All right, let's I want to roll back to that 2022 game. Again, just kind of showing you how Dak Prescott struggled somewhat against Fangio. Fangio is pretty clever. And now that he's won a Super Bowl, everybody's saying he's the best thing since sliced bread. And you already know this is a copycat league. And so because Fangio has done some things now, everybody is saying that Fangio, okay, that was 23, wasn't it? Now everybody is trying to copy everything that Fangio is doing, but they're going to understand something about that Fangio system, that if you ain't got the dogs, it don't work. You got to have the dogs to run that defense. And that's one of the, and that's really with any defense. But a lot of people don't understand you can't do what another team does because you might not have the same players. And if you don't have the same players, you can't line up against the team like a previous team. Okay, let's look at this Miami Dolphin game. Again, this is where they said Dak Prescott lost the MVP. And I'm telling you talking about somebody that was mad. They had the Cowboys 13-7 in the first half. And then Dak Prescott came down in the third and the fourth quarter, scored 13 points, outscored them. But if I'm not mistaken, there was some fluky things happening down here at the end of this game towards the goal line where I'm thinking Tony Pollard, they went back and measured it, and he was an inch short. Dak Prescott stepped out right before the goal, before the pylon, I think, on one of those touchdowns that everybody thought was a touchdown. But in the grand scheme of things, Dak Prescott was 20 for 32, 253 yards and 2 touchdowns. They didn't turn him over, but nevertheless, they held us to 22 points with that kind of bend, don't break type of stuff. Pollard, and this is one of these games that people don't pay attention to. It was all Dak Prescott. Tony Pollard was only 12 of 38. Dak Prescott was 5 for 25, had more yards per rush than Tony Pollard. Dak balled out this game. Towards the end, he balled out. But nevertheless, they said this is where he lost the MVP. But this is Fangio. And so when you look at these games against Fangio, Dak Prescott is 1-2. So it looks like he beat him that game in Chicago. But then when you come to the game against the Denver Broncos, anybody remember this game? It was 2021. They mauled us 30-16. Fangio mauled us. Teddy Bridgewater, this is one of these games. I want you to pay attention to this name right here. Look familiar? I think this is one of the things that also sold the Cowboys on Mr. Javonte Williams. The Cowboys are hoping that this is the same Javonte Williams. They're hoping the one that we got right now is the same one. This was the tail of the game right here. They held us to 212 passing yards, 78 run yards, 10 total drives, 57 plays. Problem is, looks like we had a couple of turnovers in this game. Excuse me. We had a couple of turnovers in this game. 1 interception and 1 fumble loss. We lost the turnover battle. And so Fangio, I'm telling you, man, he's a very frustrating quarterback with the type of defense that he plays. And he's the type of, and this is why I said tonight, as it applies to Dak Prescott and his team, one of the things they're going to have to do, Cowboys fans, they are going to have to stay extremely, extremely patient. Because I'm telling us right now, Fangio is expecting bombs away by the Cowboys. He's expecting it. I'm telling us. Fangio is absolutely expecting bombs away by the Cowboys. Bombs away. And I'm going to show you this as we look. I want you to look here. Let's kind of look at the injury report first. Let's see where we are. Okay, we had Fangio. Let's look at the matchups, and then we'll go to the injury report. But again, they are expecting big plays from the Cowboys. They are. They are expecting big plays. And that's why I keep saying the place where the Cowboys are truly going to be able to surprise them is defensively. R-Dub said Dak lost MVP because he sat fourth quarter in 7 games. Boy, R-Dub. That part too. He should have won the MVP alone just based on what you just brought up. But that part too. All right, and again, these matchups, we talked about them tonight. So you guys give me some matchups in the chat. I'm going to come read those. But I've pretty much given you my matchups. My matchups, the big matchup for me is going to be CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens against whoever the Philadelphia Eagles line up. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're trying not to reveal who they're going to line up at the cornerback position. They're trying not to reveal that. But in the grand scheme of things, the big matchup for me, and let's look at this is what they're predicting. The big matchup for me is going to be CeeDee Lamb against whoever they line up on that list. I'm sure Quinyon Mitchell is going to start. I think it's supposed to be Cooper DeJean. And then, of course, you got Khalid Ringo, Adoree Jackson, Jacorian Bennett, and Mac McWilliams. This is where the Cowboys should actually be able to eat. Because I just don't know who they have that can hold CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I just don't know who they got that can do it. These cornerbacks are going to be in trouble today. And I think they know it. But I also think that Brian Schottenheimer is going to have to be very patient because I think they're very well going to try to play these deep balls. I think where they can beat them is start out taking what they give you. If they're going to give you 10 yards of cushion, take those 7-yard passes. Take those 5-yard passes. Take the easy stuff that they give you early on. And then when they come up, then you hit them deep. We looked yesterday at how to beat cover 2 or this cover 2 shell. And it is very beatable. But the Cowboys are going to have to be patient. They're going to have to be very patient. I know there's going to be a lot of adrenaline going. They're going to have to be very patient. And definitely try to run the ball. Even if they can't, they still got to try to run the ball. I think they're going to be able to run it, though. I think behind Cooper Beebe, Javonte Williams, Ty Smith, I think they're going to be able to run it. I think they definitely have to run it. But the big matchup for me, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens against whoever they line up. My other big matchup, Jalen Carter, Tyler Booker. Jalen Carter, Tyler Booker is going to be humongous. And when I look at their offensive line, the other place where I think the big matchup is going to be Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen going up against Kenny Clark and also Diggy Zua. To me, that's where this game is going to be won and lost. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I think for the Cowboys, that's where this game is going to be won and lost. Can Tyler Booker match Jalen Carter? And what are they going to do? Are they going to keep a running back in to help out with Jalen Carter? Tyler Booker against Jalen Carter. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens against whatever they put out there. I'm going to make sure I write this down for tonight so we can come back and revisit this. Lamb and Pickens versus that secondary. And then Osa and Clark versus Dickerson, Jurgens, and Steen. Those are my matchups for tonight. Those are my key matchups. Because if Tyler Booker can match Jalen Carter, we'll be able to run the ball. If Tyler Booker can match Jalen Carter, Dak will have time to throw the ball. And if Dak has time to throw the ball and if we can run the ball, then George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are literally going to have a field day against the secondary of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think that's where the biggest issue is. And then for us, also Odigizua and Clark versus Dickerson, Jurgens, and Steen. Because if they do what they're supposed to do, we will hold Saquon Barkley again under 100 yards. Now, what happened to us last year, and we got to make sure this doesn't happen again. Typically, when you hold Saquon Barkley under 100, well, they make up for that with Jalen with another 50 or 60. The Cowboys have got to keep him under 30. They got to keep Saquon Barkley under 70. They got to keep Jalen Hurts under 30. And not only that, Jalen Hurts, the Cowboys need to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball 30 plus times. 30 plus times. And I want to see Dak Prescott throw it 23 to 27 times. Because if he's throwing it 23 to 27 times, with the target being 25, if Dak Prescott can get 23 completions, that means he completed a couple of big chunks. I mean large chunk yardage. And if he completes large chunk yardage, that means that we got touchdowns. And one last person and it's not even a matchup, but the other person I'm going to have my eyes on, Cavonte Turpin versus everybody. Cavonte Turpin versus everybody. And let me get one more in while I'm at it. One more matchup that I really want to see. I want to see Jake Ferguson. And I'm just going to put in the seams. I want to see that. All right, y'all tell me what you say, what y'all got. Woo, boy, Pooba D, stop playing. This man, Pooba D, said my brisket is 8 hours in. Boy, that thing gonna melt, boy. That thing is going to melt. Tell it like it is said, we traded for George Pickens and Kenny Beast Mode Clark, drafted Tyler Booker, supposed to use Turpin and Lipke more, and fans still scared. Facts. Facts. Alfredo said we're going to eat Eagles till it hurts with a healthy side dish of Barkley. Yes, sir. That man Derek Posey said he got 2 dozen crabs in the pot. Let's go. I see you, my brother. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm telling you. Robert Thomas said no trash talking about the boys going to show up on the field. I agree. Yeah, 805 Vaughn. He's 1-2. Dak is 1-2 against Fangio. Where Dak was able to get Fangio is in those kind of some of the 2-minute stuff. The Miami Dolphin game, he should have got that one. That wasn't his fault necessarily, but nevertheless, he's 1-2 against Fangio. And Fangio's defense is predicated upon having them horses. He ain't got them horses like he had last year. I don't think he's got the same horses. And because he don't have the same horses, I don't think he's going to be able to do it the same. Uh-oh, John Jones, he said, I heard Boys to Men are singing the national anthem. Y'all get ready. Shotty going to be crying tonight. Shotty will be crying tonight during the national anthem. All the cameras will be on him, I guarantee you. Gregory said, what up, G? Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to be on tonight. Let me go a little further down, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. We're about 59 minutes away, a little bit over an hour away. We're gonna get this thing going. Angie the Rebel Chick said, let them doubt Dak and watch him dot them up nicely. Yep. Dak gonna get after them boys tonight, I believe. Uptown Aaron 24, he said, I'm a Chiefs fan, but I got Dallas beating those bums. Hate the Eagles. Hey, let me tell y'all what's crazy. And I don't necessarily call it crazy. Mike McCarthy predicted the Cowboys to win tonight. Sure did. Mike McCarthy predicted the Cowboys to win tonight. All right, let's read the quick injury report. The injury report is really nothing. Looks like the Eagles, I believe everybody on the Eagles injury report going to be good to go. Other than Tanner McKee. But they probably won't need him tonight. Jalen Carter has a shoulder. Landon Dickerson has a back. Andrew Makuba has a hamstring. Outside linebacker Joshua Uche has a groin injury, but they've been full participations in practice. I also say we need to keep an eye on A.J. Brown. Keep an eye on A.J. Brown. Angie the Rebel Chicks, you are 100% right. No slow starter penalties. Take what they give us. Drive it down. The first drive, we don't have to. Now, I'm telling you, if it's me, I would come out the first play and try to see if I get Pickens on a bomb. But nevertheless, if I'm the Cowboys, be patient. They'll give it to you. Make them come up. Make those safeties come up. Their safeties kind of play in the run game. Make them come up. We got it. C-Bay said we are better on defense, guys. It's no longer Mozzie. It's Kenny blank Clark. He's a grown man. Mozzie can take notes. Yeah. Tell it like it is. Jack Sanborn and Maurice Cooking Bird tonight, man. Them boys can tackle, man. I'm telling us, our linebacker core is way better. We don't even understand yet just how much better our defense is. We are a whole different team. Aztec Aguilera. Cowboys keys to victory tonight. Just be in sync. Play aggressive on both sides of the ball. Also, smart football, less penalties like usual, and we'll be good. Yup. All right, let's see. Let's get a couple more comments in here. Travis Beck, he said, Big G, it's time, baby. He says, it's time, baby. Nothing to it but to go out there and do it. Yeah. Ice Cold said, hit that like button. Let's go. Jesse Jones said, no interceptions. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am at least anticipating at least one interception by Dak Prescott. I'm anticipating at least one. And the reason why I'm anticipating one, Dak Prescott has not played since that Atlanta Falcon game. Dak Prescott has been out of football for a minute. Dak Prescott is going to go out there, and I'm telling you, he's going to go at it. I'm just telling us, he's not going to hold back. Dak is so confident right now. Dak got a different type of swagger. Dak, because he knows there will be separation. Dak, because he's going to take chances. Because I believe he's got confidence in his defense. I believe because Brian Schottenheimer is going to let Dak cook. I could see one interception. I could see one. I'm not worried about one interception. It's when it happens. And Dak is really good down towards the end, so I'm not worried about that in late games. I'm not worried about that. But it won't surprise me if Dak throws one interception. It won't surprise me tonight. Not worried about that as long as we can get Jalen Hurts to throw 2 or 3. Uptown Aaron, let me tell you something. Oh, and let me get the Dallas Cowboys in on the injury report. Uptown says stop that annoying tush push. Now, this is where the Dallas Cowboys defense has got to be smart. The way you stop the tush push, for me, is simple. Don't let them get in 3rd and 2. Don't let them get in 3rd and 2. Don't let them get in 3rd and 1. It's that simple for me. It's that simple. If you can stop them, you won't even have to worry about the tush push. Don't even worry about it. Now, Perion Winfrey, don't think he's playing tonight. Unless something changed. I don't think Perion Winfrey is playing tonight. Did not participate. Full participation. Trayvon Diggs will be playing tonight. Tyler Guyton will be playing tonight. Brevin Spanford has been a full participant. We'll see how that goes also. But it looks like tonight, I'm just telling us, guys, nobody's missing this game. I wouldn't be missing this game. You're not going to get me to miss it. You're not going to get me to miss this game. Okay, Terrence Washington. Is Mozzie, is he a healthy scratch? Let me go over here. Okay, let's look and see if we got the final Cowboys roster. Cannot find that updated roster. I had one yesterday. Okay, but you're saying that Mozzie is a healthy scratch. Okay, no surprise. No surprise if that is the case. Sean Brown, gee, they sleeping on us because why we don't have Micah. We don't need him, not at all. I'm telling us. Sean Brown, we're gonna be good. We're going to be good without him. Terrence C. Washington, this will be crazy if the defense stopped the tush push. All we got to do is don't let them get in it. Just don't let them get in it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to stop it. Just stop them from being able to use it. Don't let them get 3rd and 2s. Don't let them get third. If you can help it, don't even let them get 3rd and 3s. But I'm telling you, Kenny Clark is going to be a huge difference in this thing. Yeah, Nicholas Zuniga, he said, Mozzie Smith is out. Woo! Wee! Whoa, that's tough right there, man. That's tough. Seabay said, not worried about defense as much as I was when Michael was here because we didn't have a true one tech. Sucks losing Michael, but at the cost of us getting a real one tech like Kenny, I'll take it. Man, it's going to be the key. I'm just telling us nothing would have changed with Michael. Nothing would have changed. Things changed because you got a one tech. You got good enough pass rushers. Lost in Translation said, gee, don't be surprised if Ferguson and Lipke get loose tonight. I want to see Lipke get loose. Well, actually, I want to see both of them get loose. We paid them. But I definitely want to see Lipke get loose. Definitely want to see us get Lipke. Want to see him. Want to see Lipke get loose. Travis Beck. Gee, love your content, bro. He said, keep up this ish. You won't part with things. I appreciate you. Juan Carlos, you watch what I tell you. There will be people apologizing about Donovan Ezraku tonight. They'll be apologizing. The Cowboys are going to unleash this dude. They are going to unleash this dude. All right, Angie, she said, I got to take a call. Hold it down. Pure Gaming said the Eagles can eat. Fill in the blank. Boy, what a great game. What, man, I'm telling you, it's no greater game than opening up against the Philadelphia Eagles, is it? No greater game than opening it up. All right. So let's look at this next topic real quick. Man, let me show y'all what the Eagles are saying. I thought this was fascinating. Let me show y'all what the Eagles are saying over here. And I don't know, it's not the Eagles, but Dave Spadaro wrote this. And he is obviously a beat writer for the Eagles. Let me read this super chat. What y'all are about to see what this man wrote about this game. When I saw what this man wrote, all I could say was, wow. Alex, appreciate that super chat. Alex said, gee, got my cowboy hat, boots, and deck jersey on the day. Yes, sir. He said, so excited to see what those boys do tonight. Yes, sir. I got to get me a cowboy hat, man. I definitely got to get me a cowboy hat for sure. Yeah, Titan Omega said 2021 versus the Broncos was bad. Yeah, Fangio got us in that one. And you know what, though, Titan? He had some horses. Yeah, he had some players. He had some players on that team. Them boys mauled us. Okay, FS said Blue inactive. Yeah, I saw where Flournoy got moved up. Yeah, Flournoy got moved up. Blue is inactive. So that tells us what we need to know. They are going to let Javonte Smith and Miles Sanders be the runners tonight. And obviously they got some plans for Lipke. Yep, they got some plans for Lipke. Boy, I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see it. Definitely ready to see it. Terrence Washington, don't worry. He said, I was looking forward to seeing Blue rock out in his number 23. Yeah, I think they're going to debut him against the Giants. Yep, the vibes, I remember. Fumbled on the 1 yard line. Yep. Okay, that's what I thought, Chanel. This was the game where Dak's foot was on the line and they didn't count the touchdown. Yeah, I remember this one. It was some kooky stuff going on in that game, Chanel. I think all the way down to, if I'm not mistaken, the running back, I never can remember his name, but I thought he was an inch short. Yeah, Yahoo Cinecast, they robbed Dak that year. They know they did. They know they robbed him. Pure Gaming. He said he got burnt barbecue eagle for dinner tonight. Boy, Shadell said that's the game they made fun, saying if Dak had a smaller shoe size, it would have been a touchdown. Boy, I'm telling you, yeah, he stepped out right before the goal line. Boy, Dak made a relentless comeback on them boys at the end. A relentless comeback on them boys at the end. I would start Javonte Williams. Yeah, I would start Javonte Williams. John Jones tonight, MVP Pickens. Man, I'm telling you, this for me is a trench game. John Jones, I'm all in on the trenches tonight, man. All I'm going to be looking for is Kenny Clark. That is all I'm looking for tonight. Kenny Clark balling down there. That is all I'm looking for. Because I'm telling y'all, if Kenny Clark balls, we running away with this game. I'm telling you, him and Osa, y'all watch what I tell you. We are watching what is about to be one of the most terrifying defensive tackle duos in this league. Dumb boys gonna be crazy with it. They're gonna be crazy with it. All right. And she said she back temporarily. All right. Lost in translation, I agree with you. I said it in the beginning. He hadn't seen this before. It's going to be nice. He hadn't seen this before. This thing is loaded. And I'm going to tell you, Brian Schottenheimer knows him too. All right, guys, let me read to you what they're saying over in what the writer over there, Mike Spadaro. Mike Spadaro said, 6 storylines to follow in the opener. This is the Philadelphia writer. He's got a lot more respect for the Cowboys than some of our own beat writers. Says with all the excitement that has surrounded Thursday night's 2025 opening game with the Dallas Cowboys, the only goal that matters is to emerge with a victory. It says the Super Bowl 59 World Championship banner will be unveiled and the pregame hype will subside, and then it's time for football. How do the Eagles defeat the Cowboys? What are the storylines that matter for this opener? Let's take a deep dive here, he says. He said Dallas has a new coaching staff. And what does that mean exactly? He said Brian Schottenheimer is in charge of the Cowboys in his first season with Matt Eberflus overseeing the defense. Given that this is the first game, there's a great sense of unknown. So what do the Eagles study? There it is. What do they study? There's nothing to study. Nobody knows what Brian Schottenheimer is. Nobody even really knows what Eberflus is going to be. He said they look at Eberflus from his 15-plus years coaching in the NFL, including stops as a defensive coordinator with the Colts, when Nick Sirianni coached there, and as head coach with the Chicago Bears. He has a track record of employing a scheme that uses a lot of pre-snap movement, a basis in the Tampa 2 scheme and zone coverage. He wants his front to play in an attack style. The Eagles will have built-in checks for all of this and will be tasked with making adjustments as the game goes along, not unlike every other game. Number 2, the Dallas offense. Big play passing attack is the challenge. He said this is a huge matchup. This is the one I picked too. He said the Eagles secondary against the quarterback Dak Prescott, who missed both games against the Eagles last season. We've already talked about that. He said it's some outstanding pass catchers led by CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, who had 3 targets and 0 catches in the Eagles' win over Pittsburgh last season. He said you would expect the Cowboys to stress the defense with these two, along with tight end Jake Ferguson. The key for the Eagles is to win on first and second down, put pressure on Dak Prescott, have sticky coverage, and give Prescott multiple looks. Prescott is, by the way, 11-5 with 6 straight wins on Thursday nights in his career. He said there are going to be jump balls thrown to Pickens, and the Eagles have to prepare for that. Big test early for the Philadelphia secondary that has some new faces. This guy's on point. Also, big storyline. No Micah. Now what? Dallas still has pass rush threats. Man, this guy's more on point than our own beat writers. He said even with Michael Parsons in Green Bay, Dante Fowler is a veteran with a history of success. Sam Williams is a rising player for the Cowboys. Donovan Ezerako has impressed Dallas in his rookie summer. They are going to play aggressively, be physical, and give the Eagles a lot of quality reps. What is the game plan for the Eagles offense? The first for new offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo, which leads to Eagles in the ground game. It's what they do. Says just how the Dallas defense plays the line of scrimmage and how many players it employs in the box is almost irrelevant. The Eagles are going to look to run the football. They have a talented three-man backfield with Saquon Barkley, Will Shipley, and A.J. Dillon offering their abilities. And the Eagles have the best offensive line in football that is physical and wins. So the Eagles will run the ball. How much they do depends on what quarterback Jalen Hurts sees when he's calling the signals, but it's a given. Unless Dallas plays with 8 or 9 players in the box, the Eagles are going to look to keep things balanced and do what they do on offense. Dallas allowed 137 yards per game last season, and Barkley ran for 223 and 2 wins over the Cowboys last year. Not worried about it. And the reason why I'm not worried about it, I still say one of the most improved places on this team are the linebackers. They are going to be seriously helping us in that run game. Seriously helping us in that run game. I'm ready. Last thing he wrote. Oh, last 2 things. He said game 1 of the new special teams rules. This is going to impact everything. A kickoff that lands in the end zone for a touchback means the offense has the football on first down at the 35-yard line. Instead, teams want to kick off to the 3 or 5-yard line and make the return team bring the ball out. Coverage is going to be extremely important. I've been watching. Brandon Arby's been pretty good at this. Rejoice. The kickoff is back in the NFL, with estimates that up to 80% of the kickoffs will be returned. That provides a lot of opportunities for big plays. Advantage? Dallas Cowboys. Miscellaneous factors. These are just staples of the game, so as a reminder to you, it is important that the Eagles win. The turnover battle. Teams that have a -1 turnovers will win 69 and 70% of the games. The chances of winning increase from there. This is something Sirianni and the coaching staff work on every single day. Scoring touchdowns in the red zone means so much. The Eagles were tied for 10th in the NFL touchdown efficiency in the red zone last season, a number they want to improve. Dallas ranked 31 in the league in the red zone TD efficiency. Boy, we got to make sure we get that tonight. Health. Things change in a hurry when there are injuries. So this is something to watch. In-game adjustments. Which coaching staff wins in this department? It is something the Eagles did extremely well last season. It says the Eagles with new players from the edge will look to create pressure on Prescott with a 4-man rush. Defense coordinator Vic Fangio blitzes infrequently. The Eagles have a 19.1% blitz rate last season, among the lowest in the NFL, and that will help on the back end in coverage. I like what he wrote. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. That's what they're saying over there in Eagles land. That is what they are saying. Dustin Roberts, what's going on? Good to see you. Lost in Translation said it's raining in Philly right now. Uh-oh. If it's raining in Philly right now, that means you will not be able to get that ball in there as much as you would have wanted to. We'll see what it does. But I still say that doesn't necessarily stop the short passing game. I don't. Uh-oh, D.L. Jefferson said after getting a Dez jersey release, Zeke jersey release, and then Michael jersey release, he said, you think it's safe to get a Lamb jersey, bro? For sure. For sure. I think you'll be safe with CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb going to be here for the next 3 to 5 years. There's no doubt in my mind. Ooh, David Maj. Cowboys are going to shut them out. Shut them out. All right. Bruce S. said it's on NBC. Love that intro music. All right. So before we get into the final prediction for tonight, I want to get all of your final predictions. For tonight. But before we get into those final predictions for tonight, let us bow our heads and pray for these Dallas Cowboys. Let us bow. Heavenly Father, we don't know if you care about football, but what we do ask is that you keep our team healthy tonight. Let there be no serious injuries for nobody. Let there be no life-threatening injuries. But nevertheless, especially, we ask that you keep our team healthy. Help Trayvon Diggs to be healthy tonight, play the game of his life. Help Dak Prescott to remain healthy tonight, play the game of his life. Keep all of our players healthy. Be with all the players on the field tonight. Bless them. And be with all of us Cowboy fans. Help us, Father God, that whatever happens, that we still remain, we still keep our composure. But nevertheless, be with the Dallas Cowboys tonight, God. In the name of your son, Jesus Christ, we pray and thank you. Amen. Yes. We got to pray for our quarterback. We got to pray for our quarterback. The most hated man in the NFL. We got to pray for him. I am telling you, they hate this man. We got to pray for him, and we got to pray that he stays healthy. I'm looking. Lost in translation. He says he's looking for a low-scoring game. All right, I'm coming to the bottom. Justin Durrell. It's about that time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Angie, I just prayed not only for Dak Prescott, but I prayed for Trayvon Diggs and all of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm praying for health for Dak Prescott, Trayvon Diggs to have the games of their life. Mike 405, what's going on with you? All right, guys, it is that time. Y'all start throwing out. What is your final score? The big Rumbowski. I see you up in here. What is going on, Rumbowski? Big Rumbowski said, don't forget Booker has already seen Jalen Carter from the Bama UG days, and when Tyler had to know his stuff about the defensive tackles across from him, or Saban would have had him for dinner if he didn't. Yes, sir, Big Rumbowski. Oh, Rumbowski. I've already said it, it's the trenches. We're going to be back tonight for our post-game show. Y'all make sure y'all come back. Bam, bam, gains. It is game time. All right. All right. I'm coming to the bottom of the chat. Let's get some predictions up in here. Let's get some predictions. Let me see where my predictions are starting. All right. Lisa Worley said, in Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Let's go. All right, let me go back some more. Hot Wax. Lord, please protect all the players in this game tonight on both teams. In Jesus' name, amen. Yeah, we pray on this channel, Hot Wax. Let's do it. Daniel M. 21-17. Daniel M. said 21-17. Cowboys for life. 31-24, them boys. Ice Cold Cowboy. 31-28. Cowboys dub. Mike 405. Cowboys 21-17. Yes, sir. Alan Hayes. Cowboys beat the Beagles 35-17. Self-made, he said 27-17. Gregory Davis, 24-27 Dallas. Madman, we ready. Madman, tell me what the score gonna be. Ed Grabowski, he said they lost a lot of key players that helped win that Super Bowl. Yes, sir, I brought that up in the beginning. And I said the same thing, El Grabowski. Dallas is a different team and coaching staff. This will be a very interesting game. Nobody knows what to expect from the Cowboys. Newhouse fam. Cowboys 24, Eagles 13. George DC4L, 35-14. Big Rumbowski, he said 3-0. I'm thinking that mean the Cowboys by 3 maybe. Robert Dudley, Cowboys 28-24. CLG Crown Life Gang, 24-17 Cowboys. Church, 28-17. Suge Midnight, 27-21 them boys. Carl, Alder, Mr. 72 Chevelle, I see you. 27-23 Cowboys. Ron Hanna said, Boys 31, E-Girls 17. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Allen Hayes 35-17. Cowboys beat the Beagles. Lisa Worley 24-31 Dallas. Star Guardian X 28-21 Cowboys. That Sachs guy 31-28 Cowboys. Patrick M 27-24 Eagles. I hope the boys shock us all. But he said the boys gonna win. Madman, Cowboys 27-24. Brady Cup said lightning is about to strike the Eagles when we unleash this hot rod. We drive, yes sir, let's go. William Dansby 28-17. Terrence C. Washington 24-21. The real estate, he says 24-12, Cowboys win. John Henry said 40-0. Accident 31-27. Brandon Cook said 42-12. Bruce Britt 23-20. Angie said, hey, Dak got in the one sleeve. He ready. Yeah, he got that one sleeve working. Jay Smooth 34-18. Madman, he even laughed at 40-0. D-Russ said 35-17. Mr. Get Dirty 27-20. Carolina Cowboy 27-23. All right, let me get a few more in here. Zenon Zawini, he said 28-20. Dak fan for life 31-21. Yes, sir. I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to let y'all catch all the pregame stuff. Inglewood Trojans, 28-13 Cowboys. What's going on? A Star is Born. Madman in this thing. What's going on? He said the Cowboys 27, the Eagles 24. Alan Moore, 37-24. Roger Adams, he said 51-48. Put Aubrey with a clutch. With a clutch 65-yard field goal. Roger Adams he's expecting a flat-out shootout up in this thing. Tristan York, appreciate that super chat. He said the Cowboys 34, the Eagles 24. Man. My co-host Angie said, no prediction from me, but it's Cowboys all day over here. They vibes 20-34. I'm predicting that's the Cowboys. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Mike 405, he said them 40 burgers got him rolling over in here. Derek G, he said 28-24. Held to 80 yards rushing. That's kind of where I am too. I'm gonna give you mine in a moment. Ron Hatter said 40-0. If that happens, I'm running outside naked. Boy, you is not, boy, I'm telling you. Boy, 40-0, shoot. Boy, we gonna be insufferable if it's 40-0. Hallelujah said 41-17. Lord, Dak Prescott, amen, hallelujah. All right, Mitchell Green says 31-20. All right, y'all make sure y'all write y'all scores down. And we're going to see who the closest tonight. Accident. Appreciate that $1.99 super chat. All right, Christopher Cook, 24-21 Dallas. I'm going to give you my score. 27-17 Dallas Cowboys. I believe the Cowboys hold them to 17 points tonight. I think the tale of the game is going to be the trenches. The Dallas Cowboys will hold, I believe, if they win 27-17, I believe the Cowboys are going to hold the Philadelphia Eagles to somewhere around 100 to 125 yards. They're going to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. I will not be surprised tonight if DeRon Bland and Trayvon Diggs both get interceptions tonight. I believe the Cowboys 2 to 3 turnovers. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, both touchdowns. The Cowboys 27-17. That is where I am. 27-17. Dang Liv said you have us winning by 10. What? Yeah, I'm going 27-17. And the reason why I'm going 27-17, Eagles run the ball. I do think that there will be some kind of ball control here. Remember, Matt Eberflus's defenses are bend, don't break. It won't shock me if they get 2 or 3 field goals. 2, 3. field goals and 1 touchdown at the most. Bend don't break. 27-17. I think the Cowboys will come out and I can see 3 touchdowns. But again, we gotta realize the Cowboys are gonna have to be patient. Hit them big where you can, but take what they give you. Take what they give you. But again, hey, 27-17, that's where I am. We'll see how it all turns out tonight. But again, I think this game is going to be won in the trenches. And I think the Cowboys are about to shock the NFL world. We're about to show them that we got 2 of the best defensive tackles in this game. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let's get in here and watch this game, eat some food. I'll see y'all back tonight for the post-game show. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. God bless DC Foel. Until tonight, let's talk Cowboys where we talk facts. Peace.
Yo, G, bless